Good Thursday morning to everybody. Day and a half to the weekend. Thank God. Woo! Hope you're having a great day. Hope it's a good day where you are. Got a nice sunny day here in Southeast Texas. A little chilly though. We had a cold front come through and drop the temperatures down a little bit, which is good because pretty soon it's going to get way up there, hotter than hell. Hope you're having a good day. We're going to review some of the things that happened in college basketball the last few days. We're going to preview some of the big games coming up. Some conference tournaments have already started. We'll go over all that. Before we start, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. With it, let's get to the news. The ACC, Florida State, Clemson, they have ended their ongoing litigation on Tuesday. All agreed to a settlement that changes the league's revenue distribution model, significantly reduces exit penalties for members wanting to leave the ACC conference before 2036. So it looks like they may have gotten that stuff worked out. We'll see. I haven't really heard lately if FSU and Clemson still want to leave the ACC. I don't know. I just haven't, since football season's been over, haven't really heard much about that, but we'll see what happens there. Texas, they may have already got him, but they were targeting West Virginia and Troy, former head coach Neil Brown, for a role on their coaching staff. What that role is, not sure, but they are looking at him. Let's see. Former Michigan State coach Mark D'Antonio. Remember him? Great coach for Michigan State. He's going to be a new committee member on the CFP. Vanderbilt Associate Defensive Coordinator Steve Gregory. He's been promoted to defensive coordinator. Clark Lee was calling the defensive plays, but now Steve Gregory's been promoted. He's going to call the defensive plays next football season. And, of course, like we've been doing, got some sad news. Pitt freshman cornerback, Mason Alexander, he was killed in a car accident Saturday night in his hometown, Fishers, Indiana. His friend was driving, evidently tried to pass a car, lost control. Car hit a tree. 18 years old. Man, his life was barely had begun. And this kind of tragedy happened. Man, prayers to him and his family and friends and the whole Pittsburgh community. I mean, that's just 18 years old. Man, your life has just begun. That's just horrible. Anyway, prayers to you, Mason. Man, I don't know what else to say about that. Just bad. Okay, so we're going to go back to Sunday, review some things that happened. 17-13, Kennesaw State beat 23-6 Liberty, 85-80. Kennesaw State, 51% from the field, 11 three-pointers. Liberty only shot 46% from the field. Number 8, Michigan State beat number 11, Wisconsin, 71-62. Leading scorer for the Spartans, Akins, 19 points, 8 rebounds. He hit 4 three-pointers. Blackwell was the leading scorer for the Badgers, 19 points, 6 rebounds. 39% from the field is what Michigan State shot. Wisconsin, 34%. Sparty hit 9 three-pointers. They had 11 more rebounds. Wisconsin only hit 5 three-pointers. 11-15, St. Peter's beat 20-7 Marist, 57-52. St. Peter led by 8 at halftime. Marist only 19 points in the first half. 16-14, Merrimack beat 18-11 Quinnipiac by 10. Merrimack's Clark, 20 points in that game. 16-10, Cornell beat 18-10 Princeton, 102-70. Cornell outscored Princeton 48-37 in the first half, then 54-33 in the second half. Just totally dominated that game. 25-7, Bradley beat 20-12 Northern Iowa, 73-56. Bradley, 48% from the field, 11 three-pointers. Northern Iowa, only 38% from the field. 19-11, Illinois beat number 15, Michigan, 93-73. White for Illinois, 19 points, 11 rebounds, followed by Boswell and Jacovinus. Is that how you say his name? Jacovinus? 17 points each. Golden for Michigan, 22 points, 7 rebounds. Only Michigan player with double-digit points in this game. That was not going to get it done. But they still shot 46% from the field. Illinois did shoot 47%. Illinois also hit 14 three-pointers in this game. Had 15 points off of turnovers. Wolverines grabbed 11 less rebounds in that one. Number 18, Memphis beat 19-10 UAB, 88-81. Haggerty for Memphis, 25 points, 17 of them in the final 12 minutes of this game. He went on fire. Memphis was down by 11 at one point in this game, but they came back and won that one. All right, moving on to Monday. Number 2, Duke beat 20-10 Wake Forest, 93-60. Flag for Duke, 28 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Duke hit 14 three-pointers. They also 23 points off of turnovers. A-Sun tourney started. 1912 Jacksonville beat 18-14 Eastern Kentucky, 78-67. And 1913 Queens beat 18-14 Florida Gulf Coast, 71-65. 16-15 UT Rio Grande Valley beat 18-13 Southeast Louisiana by 1. Lamar beat Nichols 65-53. Both of them are 19-12 now. And the Sun Belt Conference for them has already started. 21-9 UCLA beat 16-14 Northwestern 73-69. Bruins led by 14 in the final 3 minutes. Nearly blew it, though. Northwestern nearly came back and won that game. 22-6 North Texas beat 17-12 Wichita State by 2. North Texas, as of Monday, was on a 6-game win streak. And number 3, Houston beat poor old 1911 Kansas. I don't know what's going on there in Lawrence. 65-59. That is 9 straight wins for Houston. Kansas 4-5 in the last month. Moving to Tuesday, 18-3 Maine beat 17-14 UMass Lowell by 1. Georgia, they moved to a 19-11. They beat 12-18 South Carolina, 73-64. Bulldogs grabbed 15 more rebounds than the Gamecocks. Number 18, Purdue beat 14-16 Rutgers, 171. Purdue's Lawyer and Smith scored 23 points apiece in that game. 21 Dayton beat 17-13 St. Louis, 75-67. Number 16, Memphis beat 11-18 UTSA by 5. Memphis, 20 more rebounds, 16 points off of turnovers. Number 19, Kentucky beat 14-16 LSU, 95-64. 18-12 Baylor beat 16-14 TCU, 61-58. Baylor shot 44% from the field. TCU only shot 35%. 17-13 Georgetown beat 18-13 Villanova by 2. Georgetown's Epps, 20 points plus the game-winning layup with 5 seconds left. 22-8 Oregon beat 18-12 Indiana, 73-64. That was 6 wins in a row for Oregon. Ohio State beat Nebraska by 2 in overtime. Both of them were 17-13. 15-15 Virginia beat 16-14 Florida State by 3. And 2 overtimes. Number 23 BYU beat number 10 Iowa State 88-85. BYU Sanders 23.6 rebounds, followed by Hall 22 points, 5 rebounds, 4 3-pointers. He came off the bench to do that. Iowa State's Jefferson 19 points. See if I can say his name. Momcilovic, 18 points, 4 3-pointers. BYU 44% from the field. Iowa State 39. BYU 11 3-pointers. Iowa State hit 8 3-pointers. BYU 25 for 31 from the free throw line, and Iowa State was 27 for 31 from the free throw line. Iowa State did score 34 points off of turnovers, but didn't help them. I'm so happy about this one. Number 22 Texas A&M beat number 1 Auburn 83-72. Aggies never trailed in this game. I see this game and I'm like, well, what the hell happened these last 3 or 4 games before that? You can beat the number 1 team, but these other ones you can't. What the hell? A&M's Phelps, 19 points, came off the bench to do that. Pettiford for Auburn led the way, 19 points. He hit 6 3-pointers, so he had a pretty damn good game. A&M only shot 43% from the field. Auburn shot 50. Both of them made 9 3-pointers. A&M 18 for 25 from the free throw line. Auburn 13 for 15. What else we got? Oh, A&M. Great at rebounding. 41 rebounds. Auburn only 25. A&M 18 points off of turnovers. Auburn 11 off of turnovers. So good night for the Aggies. I was happy. 18-12 West Virginia beat 16-14 Utah 71-69. West Virginia 46% from the field. Utah only shot 38. 18-12 Arkansas. I just don't know what to think about Arkansas. They beat great teams and then they lose to teams that they shouldn't. It's just crazy. But they beat Vanderbilt 90-77. They shot 50% from the field. They had 18 points off of turnovers. Vanderbilt 38% from the field. Number 24, Arizona beat their rival 13-17 Arizona State, 113-100. Arizona's Vesser, 22 points, followed by Love, who had 21 points. 17-13, UNLV beat 28 San Diego State, 74-67. UNLV, 51% from the field. They hit 12 threes in this game. Rishwan, 26 points for the Rebels. Moving to last night, number 13, Maryland beat number 17, Michigan, 71-65. Maryland's Rice, 19 points. He hit 4 3-pointers. Wolf was the leading scorer for the Wolverines, 20 points, 8 rebounds, followed by Golden. He also had a good game, 20 points, 15 rebounds. Maryland, 38% from the field. Michigan did shoot 44%. Maryland, 9 3-pointers. Michigan, only 7 of them. Maryland, 21 points off of turnovers, where Michigan only scored 9 off of turnovers. Number 11, Clemson beat 12-18. Boston College, 78-69. Clemson grabbed 17 more rebounds than Boston College. 12-18, NC State beat 16-4 Pitt, 71-63. NC State hit 10 3-pointers and had 15 points off of turnovers. 15-15, Kansas State beat 17-13 Cincinnati, 54-49. Kansas State, 17 points off of turnovers. Give it to Kansas State. They keep scratching and clawing. Probably a little too late unless they just mow through the Big 12 tournament. But, man, they've been fighting, and they beat teams that they probably shouldn't have beat. So, never give up. They're never give up team. 20-10, St. Joseph beat 17-12 Rhode Island, 91-74. St. Joseph's 13 3-pointers, and they got 22 points off of turnovers. Number 5, Florida beats number 7, Alabama, 99-94. Florida's Condon, 27 points, 10 rebounds, followed by Clayton Jr., 22 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. Sears was the leading scorer for the Tide, 30 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Not a bad game for him. Followed by Philon, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Florida, 49% from the field. Bama, 47. Florida grabbed 15 more rebounds than Alabama did. Number 9, Texas Tech beat 11-19 Colorado, 91-75. Topping for the Red Raiders, 30 points in that game. 18-12 Oklahoma. Oklahoma, another team that keeps scratching and clawing and fighting. Beats number 15 Missouri, 96-84. Oklahoma, 57% from the field, 25 for 26 from the free throw line, 17 points off of turnovers. Missouri shot 47%. Number 12, Wisconsin beat 15-15 Minnesota, 74-67. Blackwell for the Badgers, 25 points, 11 rebounds. 21-9, UConn beat number 20 Marquette, 72-66. UConn's Caravan, 21 points, including a 3-pointer he hit with 23 seconds left. Number 14, Louisville beat 13-17 Cal, 85-68. Edwards Jr. for Louisville, 35 points. 13-17 Notre Dame beat 19-11 Stanford by 2. Serta for Notre Dame hit a 3-pointer with 18 seconds left to help seal that win. And number 21-9 Ole Miss beat number 4 Tennessee by 2. Boy, the SEC, man, they just keep beating up on each other. Ole Miss's Breakfeld scored 19 points in the final 11 minutes of that game. All right, so moving on to upcoming games that are interesting. Tonight, Missouri Valley Conference, West Coast Conference, Sun Belt Conference, Summit Conference, Patriot Conference, Ohio Valley Conference, Horizon League, ASUN. These teams are in the quarters, first rounds, a couple of them are semifinals. All that is all underway for them. Teams that aren't in their conference tourneys yet. 6 p.m. ESPN Plus, Tulane versus Eastern Carolina. Both of them are 17-12. 6 p.m. ESPN2, 16-13 FAU versus 19-10 UAB. 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus, Mount St. Mary's versus Quinnipiac. Both of them are 18-11. 6:30 on ESPN Plus, 16-13 New Mexico State versus 19-10 Louisiana Tech. 6:30 on CBS Sports Network, 23-6 Liberty versus 20-9 Middle Tennessee. It's probably going to be a pretty good one there. 7 p.m. on FS1, number 8, Michigan plays 15-14 Iowa. 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus, 19-13 Queens versus 23-9 Lipscomb. And then 9 p.m. on ESPN Plus, 21-8 Cal State Northridge versus 19-11 UC Riverside. Coming up tomorrow, those same conferences: Big South, Missouri Valley, CAA, SoCon, Sun Belt, Summit, Ohio Valley, West Coast. All of them have their conference tournaments going on. Also, 6 p.m. ESPN2, 21-9 Dayton versus 25-5 VCU. 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus, Ohio versus Toledo. Both of them are 16-14. Same thing, 6 p.m. ESPN Plus, 16-14 Eastern Michigan versus 20-10 Kent State. 7 p.m. on Fox. Pretty good one here for a Friday night. Number 18 Purdue versus 19-11 Illinois. 9 p.m. CBS Sports Network. 17-13 UNLV versus 24-6 New Mexico. And a good one late at night. Thank goodness on the Friday. 9 p.m. FS1. 21-9 Colorado State versus 22-8 Boise State. All right, Saturday. This is the last regular season for a lot of these teams. Some of them already started their conference, like these guys, Big South, Missouri Valley, all of them. But a lot of these other teams finishing the regular season this weekend. All right, 11 a.m. on Fox. Number 6, St. John's versus number 20, Marquette. What a way to start the day. Or if you don't like that, 11 a.m. on ESPN. Number 19, Kentucky versus 15, Missouri. If you don't like that, 11 a.m. on SEC Network. Number 25, Mississippi State goes to Arkansas, who's 18-12 and just hard to figure out. They dominated the game. Another game, they only score like 17 or 18 points in the first half. Very entertaining team, though. Another decent one, 11 a.m. ESPNU, 20-10 Vanderbilt versus 19-11 Georgia. Georgia, another SEC team, hard to figure them out. 12 at Peacock, 15-15 Penn State versus number 12 Wisconsin. 12:30 on CBS. Number 10 Iowa State. Remember we just talked about Kansas State, scratching and clawing. They are 15-15. They would love to beat Iowa State. 12:30 or 1 p.m. on the SEC Network. 12-18 South Carolina, who you never know how they're going to play, versus number 4 Tennessee. 1 p.m. on ESPNU, 19-11 Stanford versus number 14 Louisville. 1 p.m. on ESPN Plus, 20-10 St. Bonaventure versus 16-14 Davidson. 1 p.m. ESPN Plus, 19-7 Yale versus 14-12 Brown. 1:15 on the CW Network, 16-14 Georgia Tech, who's kind of a dangerous team, versus 20-10 Wake Forest. 1:30 ESPN. Iron Bowl Part 2, number 7 Alabama versus number 1 Auburn. 2 p.m. on Peacock, 16-14 Northwestern versus number 13 Maryland. 2 p.m. on ESPN Plus, 17-12 UTEP versus 19-10 Louisiana Tech. 2 p.m. ESPN Plus, 23-6 Liberty versus 16-13 Western Kentucky. 2 p.m. ESPN Plus again, 17-13 Kennesaw State versus 20-10 Jacksonville State. 2:45 CBS. You got a Big Ten one. 17-13 Ohio State versus 18-12 Indiana. 3 p.m. SEC Network. Number 22 Texas A&M plays 14-16 LSU. 3 p.m. ESPNU 22-8 SMU versus 16-14 Florida State. I don't know what happened to Florida State this year. 3 p.m. ESPN Plus 27 Marist versus 18-11 Mount St. Mary's. 3:30 on ESPN. Number 24 Arizona goes to Lawrence to play the ailing 19-11 Kansas Jayhawks. 4 p.m. on ESPN Plus. 16-14 Central Florida versus 18-12 West Virginia. 5 p.m. SEC Network. Looks like a pretty good one here too. 21-9 Ole Miss goes to Gainesville to play number 5 Florida. 5 p.m. on ESPNU. Where are we? 13-17 Virginia Tech plays number 11 Clemson. 5 p.m. ESPN Plus, 17-14 UMass Lau versus 18-13 Maine. 5:30 ESPN, the mother of all rivalries, number 2 Duke versus 20-11 North Carolina, who North Carolina's been playing better lately than they have been. 7 p.m. on ESPNU, number 9 Texas Tech versus 13-17 Arizona State. 7 p.m. on Fox, 15-15 USC playing their rival, 21-9 UCLA. 7 p.m. SEC Network, usually a pretty good rivalry, no matter what sport. 18-12 Oklahoma versus 17-13 Texas. 7:30 ESPN Plus, 23-8 Furman versus 22-9 Samford. 9 p.m. ESPN, which is kind of a crazy start time. Number 3, Houston versus 18-12 Baylor. I mean, they're both here in the Central Time Zone, so I don't know what's up with that. 9 p.m. on ESPN Plus. 25-5 UC Irvine versus 19-11 Santa Barbara. And then 9:30 on FS1. 16-14 Nevada versus 20-8 San Diego State. That is it. Yeah, day and a half. Weekend will be here. Thursdays. We're almost over with Thursday. Anyway, we will be back either Sunday or Monday to recap everything that happened today, tomorrow, Saturday. And that's why we might do it Monday so we can recap. A lot of important things are going to be happening Sunday. May just come back Monday. Anyway, whatever that is, hey, have fun. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe. We will see you next time.